Welcome again to Seasons, written by Dan Wolgemuth, read by Mike Duncan. A new season for a lifelong optimist. In general, I would consider myself an optimist. Not an oblivious optimist, but a hopeful one. At times, this character trait betrays me. An unrealistic arrival time, a naive view of how long a home project will take. But for the most part, I tend to lean positively, even in the face of disappointment. I suppose that's why I was unprepared for how recent events around our globe struck me. Of course, the memories of the attacks on 9/11 still stir emotion. The senseless and tragic shooting in Utah, along with another high school shooting near my home in Denver. Add to that the fact that wars continue not only to rage around the world, but intensify, expand, and divide us. At a personal level, I'm keenly aware of the struggles of a newly minted teenage granddaughter who is trying to understand who she is and what she was made for. Or the very heartbreaking reality that 2 of my 5 siblings are dealing with profound cognitive decline. As I process both the facts and feelings around these events, I started to acknowledge and then embrace the season that I'm in, a season of sadness. There, I said it. The optimist in me resisted, but the realist confessed. I feel sadness. In some circles, this is called lament. And quite honestly, I've never considered the fact that lament could be a season. It's not a mindset of despair or hopelessness, but a declaration of sorrow and pain. It's not the typical uplifting language of motivation, but then real flourishing isn't easy. In some ways, I'm embarrassed that I haven't addressed this season before. I should have. Because every one of you that reads this or listens to it has experiences of profound personal, organizational, or community sadness and disappointment. I'm not talking about the disappointment that comes when the Denver Broncos lose a game they should have won. No, I'm talking about something deeper. Something in the core of our being that recoils from the realities of our broken world. We all have experienced this at some point, and so to ignore it or dismiss it is both unrealistic and useless. In many ways, sadness can be the narrow pathway to authentic joy. We acknowledge what isn't right, and we press on to do our part to make it right, or to serve those who can't help themselves. Lament becomes the invitation for meaningful community, and as such, it brings healing and restoration. Not because every problem is solved, but because we realize with freshness that we're not alone. Feeling sad, disappointed, discouraged, or confused? Me too. Learn from the lament. Lean into it, because that's the only way through it, and let's do it together. Optimists and pessimists united for the common good.